never too late, it's never too early, it's always half past, time to be thirsty. Beer 30. Beer 30. Oh, I think I will have me a cold one.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Beer 30. We're going to kick this episode off with one of my favorite Toby Keith songs, Who's Your Daddy? Tell me what you got on your mind. I guess those college boys all went home for the summertime. Well, you're looking right, looking good, looking like a woman should. So why is it so hard to find a place to lay your pretty little head down once in a while? Y'all, see you on the couch. Pop a top. It's Beer 30.
Beer 30.
Hey y'all, Adam Warner here with another episode of Beer 30. And with me this week, my special guest, my good friend, the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Miss Allie Cutter.
Allie,
thank you for being on Beer 30 with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I needed songbirds, so I immediately was like, you were number one on my list.
I'm honored.
Y'all, this girl can sing. She can sing songs. So for y'all at home who don't know who Allie is, I know Allie. Allie's one of the first people I met when I moved to Nashville. Yeah. But can you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell people where you're from, backstory.
Yeah, so I came to town when I was 14. I'm from Lakeland, Florida. Had no idea what I was doing. My mom was just really cool and supportive and awesome. Sat in with bands, started writing, started going in the studio and would pretend like I knew also that. I'd be in there in headphones and they'd be using terminology and I'm like, yeah, sure, great. No idea, no clue. But I was really blessed with some great opportunities and met some cool people. Yeah. Mutual connection of ours, Kenny Beard.
Absolutely.
Songwriter, producer. And that just really was the tipping point for me. I had put in some work at that point, but he threw me on tour with Jeff Bates, and I got to do a whole lot of fun things and see the country, and started writing for publishing companies. And about 2 years ago, I started transitioning from more of a country sound and influencing all of the pop rock that I love as well. That's the great thing about music is
Absolutely.
you can go from Patsy Cline to Maroon 5.
Oh,
and
absolutely. I
not
mean,
skip a beat.
I did a radio interview not too long ago, and somebody asked me if I was on a desert island and I could pick one artist to hang out with, who would it be?
Oh, to hang out with.
Yeah, on the island,
Okay.
like to bring with you.
Are they going to sing to you?
No, you just. I mean, you can do. I mean, you can sing, you can play. He just left it kind of vague.
Chilling.
And I literally said, "This is going to take you off guard because I know you're not going to expect it. You're probably going to think that I'm going to be like, oh, I would want to take like Waylon Jennings or somebody like that." And I was like, but in all honesty, if I could choose one artist, I think I'd take Post Malone with me because that dude looks like he knows how to have a good time. So I was like, I don't know if we'd get a lot accomplished, but
I was going to say, I don't know if your housing would actually develop into anything or whatever.
There'd be a lot of empty Bud Light cans, but other than that. But yeah, that is crazy though. Like KB, I met Kenny Beard right before I met my manager first when I first moved to town. I'd just gotten out of the Marine Corps. And when I started pursuing music too, that's how I met you guys as well. Yeah. Was he took me down, I think the first time I saw y'all was in Waverly, Tennessee.
Oh gosh!
At some hole-in-the-wall bar,
Mm-hmm.
and then again in Nashville at the Opry Backstage Grill, and I met KB. And to be honest, like I was so green, had no idea who he was. I thought he was a truck driver when I first met him, and I sat on
the overalls didn't help.
Oh no, he had overalls on, big beard, and I was like, "Who is this hillbilly?" And then we sat on my tailgate for probably 2 or 3 hours that night and just talked music, and then I finally Googled his name after he left, and I was like, "Oh shit, that guy!"
I was going to say, "Oh shit" moment right there.
Right, that was a no shit moment for sure. But man, such a great guy, and I miss KB. But that's really cool. That I'm glad we both have that in common. Yeah. But outside of the music scene, what does Allie Cutter do? Like, what do you do for fun outside of writing, singing, touring, playing? Granted, this year a little bit different with the COVID.
Just a smidge, yeah.
But
during COVID, I drank bourbon and wine and ate cashews by the pound every week.
Now, see, y'all, this is why Allie and I are good friends. Okay, her bourbon collection might be better than mine, but
I'm not gonna lie. It actually probably is. I'm a little spoiled, and I'm all right with it.
That's okay. What's your favorite bourbon while we're talking about it?
So a Midsummer's Dram is really good. That's a rye.
Yeah, I love rye.
It's delicious. And then, but just for more of a common but still really good, Basil Hayden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got on for the rye whiskeys. I've been drinking Whistle Pig.
Yeah,
and,
that's good.
Ooh, it's good. I have a 10-year, a 12-year, and a 15 at the house.
Nice.
And I put a hurting on them so far.
We have
COVID.
a bottle of Boss Hog that we're going to open in October.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I was like, my collection is like...
So my father-in-law has a bottle of Boss Hog that he has not opened yet, and every time I go over to his house, it slowly...
You're like, are we ready? Are we ready?
And it slowly makes its way like closer to the edge of the counter, because one of these days I'm just going to be like...
steal it.
Yeah, you're wasting time, bro. It's time. I want to drink it. That's so funny. But yeah, that's a great whiskey. But you said, so you moved here at 14 and started playing.
Yeah.
So like, were you on Broadway? Like, where were you playing? 14 years old.
So there was an ice cream shop on Broadway. Yeah, it's now a souvenir shop because that's what Broadway needed.
Yeah.
More T-shirts.
Right.
Yeah, I need a magnet with Elvis's face. But no, it was kind of cool because I would play there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and just I had no idea what I was doing. And I sat in the window like Phoebe from Friends.
Oh my God.
And one time I did for $20 play Smelly Cat, but it was well worth it.
Get some ice cream afterwards, at least.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So cool. So, talking about music, again, when I first met you, y'all were a country group pretty much, and your new music, which I love, by the way, sounds awesome, super edgy. So, who are some of your influences? I mean, I know you're saying you're more of a pop rock way right now, but...
Well, so, I grew up listening to Kitty Wells, Marty Robbins, Webb Pierce, Chris Christopherson, all of that. So that's always been my heart, and that's why country felt natural to me. And it still is and always will be a part of it. But also, my mom worked in a skating rink, so I listened to Boyz II Men and Paula Abdul and like hair bands. I was so little that I would get in her skates. I didn't have skates big enough for me, and so I'd like fumble around like Bambi. But then my dad was a hippie, and so Three Dog Night, Mamas and the Papas, like that kind of stuff. So I have all these different influences, and then I love Aaron Lewis, Stained. I love Bryan Adams, the Eagles.
Oh man,
anything the Eagles, I love. Steve Perry, one of my top vocalists, period. Yeah. And I love Ella Fitzgerald and Etta James. So it's like, for so long I felt like I had to stay in this little like box. Yeah. And then finally it just hit me. Like, I don't have to. Like, that's the positive thing about streaming is you can be whatever you want to be.
And that's what I think is just so cool about music too. It's like, I started out and my style was very traditional to begin with. But, coming out next year, I've been working with different writers, different producers. Yeah. And it's outside my comfort zone because I'm not used to it. It's definitely a lot more edgy, more mainstream, a lot more rock influence, but it's fun. And I love that.
Well, that's when it's right. Like when you can stand on stage and sing great songs, but until you're having fun doing what you're doing,
absolutely,
that's when, and you feel the energy and people feel the energy.
And it's funny, like the skating rink thing. So my parents are like kind of opposite of what you're talking about. So my mom's a hippie. My dad's kind of a redneck, and that's how I first heard about George Jones, was at the skating rink in my hometown. The race is on.
The skating rink played George Jones.
The race is on.
Okay.
And I was like, I was going to win. So, I was out there racing people. But that's how it was kind of like my first intro to him. But I'm ready to hear some of your music. I'm ready for you. I got to put you to work. We got to do some singing. So what are we going to hear first?
So I released, one of the things I did over quarantine was release a song. And it's called Not Over You. And so we're going to do that today. Awesome. And it's available on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, all the places.
Make sure y'all go and find Allie Cutter and her new single on all the places. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Play, YouTube, I'm guessing too.
Yep.
All right. Y'all, I'm going to put Allie to work. Stand by. We're moving to the stage.
Gave you everything, and what did you do? You wrapped my heart in chains, then cut me loose. Now I tell myself lies and I can't sleep at night 'cause of you. Yeah, I try just to get my mind right. What's the use?
Not Over You. What a song, man. I like it. I like where you're going. Your direction is awesome.
Thank you.
Great stuff. So back to my questionnaires, and this is my favorite part because this is my favorite question to ask everybody. So up to this point in your music career, what has been your holy shit moment? Now, it can be like a performance, it could be a write, it could be forgot to zip your pants up in your own stage type of thing. You know, whatever.
I've skipped a button before.
Skipped
like
a
that's
button?
definitely happened.
Right.
Where I'm like, well, you know.
I've done that before. I thought
Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
I did not,
Okay.
unfortunately, because it was at a bar, thank God. But there's this group of women that were about my mom's age, and they were fixated on me, and I was like,
Rawr.
these women are just eyeing my crotch, and here I am thinking, you know, I'm a stud.
I'm impressive
right?
today.
I was like, I'm impressive, and then like I turn around and look at
it's
the
not
drummer.
cold at all in here.
No, I turn around and look at the drummer, and he points at me, and I look down. I was like, oh, my fly's undone. That's not embarrassing. So anyway,
Oh, that's awesome.
your holy shit moment so far in your musical career.
So, if we're going the positive route
Yes.
of holy shit moment, definitely we got to kind of work the system a little bit, and I got to sing on the Opry and do a duet, and Conway, Twitty, and Loretta.
Whoa.
It was August 8th, and it was unreal just standing on the side of the stage, and you know, you look out and you see the audience, and it's just an honor to be there. Like,
Oh,
it's
man.
so humbling, and
Absolutely.
you never feel like you deserve to be there. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing, and you walk out, and I had my little mic, and there's actually a really cool photo of me like foot stepping into the circle.
Circle? Yeah.
Where I was like trying to get my sassy on, but inside
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No, I completely relate. I was not on an Opry show, but I got to play at the Opry House for Sunday Morning Country, and it was the fastest, like 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
it flies by. Like
insane.
you can't even really process what's happening until afterwards.
Yeah, and the lights, everything is so bright. Like, you just stand
Yeah.
out there, and all you see is bright lights and hear people, and you're just like, I'm at the Grand Old Opry House.
Yeah.
Right. Unbelievable. I feel you with that one. That's a good one. That's an
Yeah.
awesome moment. So on the flip side of things, now I do know of some. I told you one of my embarrassing moments. I have multiple, but I know you have a good one too. So let me hear the embarrassing.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Literally. So I did a theater show. I'd always kind of loved theater and wanted to try it, and so I worked at Dollywood for a Christmas season.
Nice.
And the getup was freaking hilarious. I had like bloomers and like the whole cape and a little hat. It was a lot.
Awesome.
But I was the younger daughter, and so the family was running out of the house, excited to go get the horses and to go into town. And so I run up to the side, like ready, like wait for me. And I go to step down. I miss the stair. Face plant in front of 500 people.
Yes.
And you just hear everybody kind of go, and I just busted it. And I was
no.
like, okay, Sandra Bullock, you got this. And I just went up and I went, okay, and ran off at it inside. I was like, oh, God.
Tyler farted.
And so the best part was,
Hilarious.
classily, right after that, I had to prance a fake horse out onto stage.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And I got to do like the whole little knee hop Wizard of Oz thing.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it was,
awesome.
It was great, pretending like that never happened.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Tyler Farr bite it on stage once. He was trying to jump from the stage to speakers out front and whiffed it.
Oh God! Like you gotta practice that. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
rehearse that. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't just like free fall.
No,
or
he
you
busted.
will fall.
It was great.
I need to look that up. I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's great.
I like the Destiny's Child. Michelle
Yeah.
apparently was always the one busting it, and I never really realized it until you look. There's like a blooper reel.
Yeah,
Where and Beyonce does not give a. She's just like,
she's going. No, you're not going to
like,
mess
get
up
your
her
life together,
performance.
stand up.
Exactly. You're not going to screw up her performance. No. No, I've had a couple of those. My biggest ones are always, I tend to forget words all the time. Like, I'll be singing, and then I'll be looking around and being like, man, this is so cool. There's so many people. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, what's the next word to the song? And that's when Peavy and I were playing together a lot. And I'd look over at Peavy, and my eyes would be real big. I'd be like, what's the next word? And he'd just shake his head at me. And I'm like,
You're on your
oh,
own.
man. So then
He's
I'd-
Beyonceing you.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, figure it out.
He'd just usually take it solo or something, and then it'd finally click, and I'd be like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great.
You just gotta, like, with that kind of stuff, you just gotta fake it. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
gotta own it. You're just like, I didn't want to come in yet. I'm vibing. I'm feeling myself. Like,
the fall is good though. Knock on wood, I haven't got to do that yet, but I'm sure it's coming. So
it's a glorious moment, and there's
It
not
happens
just
to us
one.
all.
There's
Yeah.
always multiple.
it's gonna happen. So, and okay. So I got another cool question for you. So we have funniest moments, but and this is kind of like touching back what I was talking about earlier, like the desert island type of thing. But instead of that, I like to find out, like, if you could write with anybody, living, past, present, who would it be?
Honestly, I think Michael Jackson.
Whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Just because, just the evolution of his music and
Yeah,
and beats and vibes of everything, and just he would probably be my ultimate.
yeah, that's
Surprising, huh?
that is surprising. I didn't think you were gonna say MJ.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Yeah, heck yeah. So, I have another question for you, and I love this one too because I know mine. But is there a song that you've heard on the radio, and it could be recently or 10 years ago, that when you first heard it, you were like, why didn't I write that? Like, it's just one of those songs where you're like, duh. Like, for me, like, when Buy Me a Boat came out,
Yeah.
I was so mad that I'd never thought of that. And I probably couldn't have wrote it as good as what Chris did. But that was my, like, one of my songs where, like, when I first heard that, because all I talk about is I sing country music because I want to buy a bass boat one day.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of my deal. But you got one?
You know, I don't really have one that I'm like,
I should have wrote that.
damn, I knew I would have wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have ones that, of course, that you wish you wrote.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much, the holy grail for me is stuff like the Eagles, where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a song that 50 years later,
There's still
people are still, it's
sing
still
it.
prevalent. People still want to request it at bars. It's on the radio 2 or 3 times a day. Like, that's my, like, yeah. That's my.
And speaking of writing songs, now you've had some songs cut by some pretty big names too.
I've been lucky with that.
Yes, you have. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
So I've been fortunate enough to have some cuts by Trace Adkins and Jimmy Fortune of the Statler Brothers.
Nice.
Just great guys, and I was lucky. I wrote one song with Jimmy, so that was the cut that we had.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I Forget You.
I didn't know you got to write that with him. That's great.
Yeah, he is so talented. That man, he's one of those it's hard to write with because he can sing the freaking phone book, and you're like, yes, I love it.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly. How'd you get grumpy to cut a song? That's what I want. Sorry, Trace. You know I'm joking.
So, I don't know if he'll right this or not. The first one, we kind of knew what was missing.
Right.
For the album. So that one, I was just lucky to be a part of. The second one, I kind of love the story. So my grandmother had just passed away. And I remember driving home and just being like, all we have is right now. Like, this is the only moment we have. And we are on this planet for this much time, and we need to do as much as we can with it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just played with those thoughts in my head a little bit, and I had to write with Kenny Beard
Nice.
and Matt Nolan, another great badass songwriter, just vocalist, everything, pianist. And we were in a good writing groove at that time. And so I had kind of told him the concept, and Matt started like noodling this kind of alternative rockish vibe. And we just went with it. We weren't trying to write it for anyone. We were just trying to write a song that I connected with. And so we ended up getting it done, and it was a guy song. Well, we were at Westwood Studio with Mickey Combs, and Trace and Exile were shooting Kiss You All Over.
Kiss You
They
All
were
Over,
doing,
yeah.
they were doing that. And Trace was like, "You been writing anything worth anything lately?" Of course, he's so flattering.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, but nothing you could really pull off."
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's
And
a
he
good
goes, "What the hell do you mean?" And I was like, "It's more like, I don't know, like rock it. It's got like an alternative rock vibe to it."
Probably wouldn't be interesting.
Yeah, I was like, it's not really for you.
That's
And he was
funny.
like, "Well, now I want to hear it." And it just ended up like we lucked up, and there was space on the album for it. And
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
Well, that's so cool. That's a great story. Well, we're gonna head back to the stage, y'all. I gotta put Allie back to work. I want y'all to hear her. This voice, amazing big voice that comes out of this tiny little girl. No, I'm just kidding. So, what's our next song? Is this
This is called Lost in the Dark.
Lost in the Dark?
Yeah.
Love it. Now, is this the brand new one?
This is brand new. Like
Brand
literally
spanking
did not exist as of like 2 weeks ago.
Awesome.
So
and this
y'all
is
are
the one
first-
that's got the more.
first to hear it.
Yeah, this is kind of like the rock vibe to it.
This has definitely got the pop dance vibe. This is one of those times where I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone into my comfort zone, if that makes sense.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So-
I get it. All right, y'all, we're headed to the stage. I'm gonna make Allie sing for you. Stand by.
I wanna get lost in the dark tonight. See, we'll be fine when we close our eyes. My lips, your kiss, like this. Wanna let it wash all over me. No hesitation, baby, free to risk eternal bliss. It's getting hard to breathe, so give me what I need. I know, I know, I know. You know, you know, you know. Give me everything. We're fighting gravity. I know, I know, I know. You know, you know, you know. Wanna get lost in the dark tonight. See what we find when we close our eyes. It's heaven and we love it. Hoping to get out alive. See what the angels try to hide and be the devil's appetite. It's heaven and we love it, even if we can't survive. I wanna get lost in the dark tonight. Yeah. Wanna get lost in the dark tonight. Yeah. I wanna break no rules again. Love me like the night ain't gonna end. I feel it, can you feel it? Know you feel it. It's getting hard to breathe, so give me what I need. I know, I know, I know. You know, you know, you know. I wanna get lost in the dark tonight. See what we find when we close our eyes. It's heaven and we love it. Hope we make it out alive. See what the angels try to hide and be the devil's appetite. It's heaven and we love it, even if we don't survive. I wanna get lost in the dark tonight. Yeah. I wanna get lost in the dark tonight. Yeah. I wanna get. I wanna get.
Beer 30.
Well, first of all, Lost in the Dark, awesome, love it.
Thank you.
Love
Did it
that.
make you want to twerk a little bit?
It did.
Okay,
I've
good.
been working on it
That's
too in the mirror a little bit, but
Nice. Just
I'm not-
arch your back.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I try. But now I've made Allie work, y'all. I'm gonna go up and play some songs too. And since you're here, I'm gonna have. Can I borrow your vocals on some of my songs too? Would you mind joining me?
I might let you borrow me.
All right, that's perfect. Well, let's go jam. I'm gonna go up and play a few songs. Thank y'all for hanging out with us this evening. I'll see you at the stage.
We're going to kick off this second half with a song that I had the privilege of recording by Hall of Fame songwriter Kim Williams. This song is called I Love Her, She Hates Me, and I Drink. While sitting at the bar with my buddies, discussing the state of the world, and everyone had an opinion. Then somebody turned and asked her, is the stock market gonna recover, or will it wind up in the tank? He looked down at his glass of bourbon. He said, I love her, she hates me, and I drink. Whoa, Wall Street don't run out by my house. I don't put much stock in their game. Just three things in this world concern me. Well, I love her, she hates me, and I drink. Well, he went back to minding his memories. For a while there we left him alone. We went back to minding our own business. Then the Cowboys and Packers came on. Well, Bill tapped Earl on his shoulder. He asked, who do you like in this game? Well, he said, for me, the game's over. Well, I love her, she hates me, and I drink. Well, you can count on a winner and a loser. Well, I think don't change a damn thing. Just three things in this world concern me. Well, I love her, she hates me, and I drink. Yeah, Wall Street don't run out by my house. It's a far cry from memory lane. Just three things in this world concern me. Well, I love her, God, she hates me, and I drink. I'm gonna need a little backup on this song, y'all. I'm gonna bring the lovely and talented Miss Allie Cutter back up on stage to help me out with this song. This song is called I Can't Get Enough. It was off my first EP. The sun's gone down, fire's lit up. We got everything you need. Hot girls here with ice cold beer and Willie's new brand of weed. Well, the band's setting up on a flatbed truck, and tonight they're playing the field. Yeah, the farmer's gal, she never gets plowed more jack, and I bet you will. Can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough of what we love so much. I can't get enough of that feel good stuff. May take a long, hard ride to get enough. Yeah, the sheriff's son, he's a son of a gun. And the shot's still ready to shoot. And the preacher's daughter, she's a walking on water. It's nothing but a birthday suit. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough of what we love so much. I can't get enough of that feel good stuff. May take a long, hard ride to get enough. Oh, come on, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome, sir.
Thanks again, y'all, for joining us for this week's episode of Beer 30. Thanks again to my special guest, Allie Cutter, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And just like the end of every episode of Beer 30, here's your theme song for Beer 30, which just so happens to be titled Beer 30. Thanks again, boys.
Stopped by the bar about noon today. They said happy hour was 5 hours away. Hit the quick sack out back and I was okay, 'cause there's 24 30s in every day. It's never too late, it's never too early, it's always half past, it's time to be thirsty. Beer 30. Stuffing my face with biscuits and gravy. Mother-in-law driving me crazy, starting to make me nervous and shaky. The Eddie's in the truck bed, ready to save me. It's never too late, it's never too early, it's always half past, time to be thirsty. Beer 30. Anywhere and everywhere, anytime is chiller time. Mr. Minute Hand can be your friend when he's sitting between 7 and 5. Hey, early bird or graveyard shifter, it's never work with a spirit lifter. Pop a silver top and get your taste buds pickled while wait for the whistle to wet your whistle. It's never too late, it's never too early, it's always half past, time to be thirsty. Beer 30. Anywhere and everywhere, anytime is chiller time. Mr. Minute Hand can be your friend when he's sitting between 7 and 5. It's never too late, it's never too early, it's always half past, time to be thirsty. Beer 30. Beer 30.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Beer 30. We'll see you next Monday at 6:30, because every Monday at 6:30 is Beer 30. Thank you.